I thought I'd do a bit of an update on the boiler. So, yeah, it's black on the end. That's only for startups. And it doesn't clean off during the winter. So currently, after 15 and a half years, it has finally developed a leak. It's a small one. I gotta fill it about once a season. It looks pretty ugly. What I did do is I actually put some bars to raise the lid, and then I welded a piece around the outside of the lid to kind of create like a mushroom cap, so it lets the smoke out when I open the door, but that way I'm not always in carbon monoxide, because of course it rises, right? Or it falls, I don't remember. Okay, so we still have an hour or something on the timer, not quite an hour. It's burning quite nicely. Sure wasn't an awful lot of smoke considering the burn. The blower will turn on. There is a, I can't see it behind there, that's a damper control. So what happens is when the timer quits, the damper control closes the actual damper in the flue. Behind it, there is a aquastat up in there, and then there's a micro switch on the door here. So, and then there's a motor speed control. The motor is a 90 volt Leeson. So volts is 90. It's a DC motor, not an AC motor. So you need a special motor controller that actually runs DC to the motor, so you can vary the speed. And it's just a homemade squirrel cage. There's not really anything really too fancy about it. And blows air in. But what I did do was on underneath, I don't know if you can see it, but there's those two pieces of stainless pipe. And they go off to the back corners, and they're slash cut. They're slash cut on the far end. There's approximately 300 gallons US in here, give or take a couple gallons either way. And 15 years I've been feeding this thing, and that will most likely do me the rest of the winter. And it's currently March, 3rd? And I gotta get till about April. Maybe that won't quite do it, but that'll certainly do the better part of it. About 7.5 cords, 8 cords for a winter. This winter was exceptionally cold. I used maybe about 9.25, and I heat the house, the shop, the domestic hot water as a sidearm, and our hot tub through a heat exchanger. It's actually really efficient, even though it looks ugly as sin. There is a clean out at this end, and then there's another one on the back. The fire tubes go up from the front to the back, clean out, come up, come this way, and then out. And as you can see, it has run hot at some point in its life. I keep the water about I guess it would be about 68, 70 Celsius. So whatever that turns out to be. That's ash. There's tons and tons of charcoal in there. So what I do is I sift the ash out, grab the charcoal, and if you notice, the ash is clean. There's no sinters in it. It's a really nice burn. The ash is minerals. We live in sand. It's very, very high silica mineral content in the wood. This is all poplar that I burn. This is just simply dry poplar. And it burns real nice, actually. This is what they call standing dead. I get this from the areas around beavers where the beavers have killed off the trees. The trees are standing and they're actually dry as a bone. They've been dead for many, many years. Cut them and split them. Don't even really have to split them. I just split them for consistency of size more than anything else. It seems to like the size, that one with a split in it. That's about the size it seems to like. It burns real nice. They turn to charcoal real quick, and away she goes. And by the way, we're in a granary. It's a lot easier to have to come out and do this than have to deal with the snow and the wind. I can close the door. I've got lights in here. I've got various different appliances. Electric chainsaw. There's an electric log splitter outside that I made. Has a big 3-horse. Oh, here, I'll go out and I'll show you. Oh! It's got a 5-inch ram on it by 14. And then I've got an old blower motor off of an old fan. It's a 5-horse, 220 volt. And then I've got that coupled to a pump. I'm using an old bladder tank. The bladder, of course, is gone. Welded some fittings on it and turned it upside down. That's my oil reservoir. And then the handle is up here. And it's just, yeah, it's real straightforward. You must saw the dimples in the wood. That's what they're from. And then I've got this convoluted cart. I took the cart and I welded the cart. The handle is actually upside down, right? Because I'm carrying the cart this way, not the other way. And then what I do is I cradle the wood inside of here. Just a couple of pieces of angle iron, just the handle's turned upside down, and then some what is that, 3/8 or quarter rod or whatever, or 5/16. And it's just made into a little stand, so it just always sits like that. Then I use the old Ranger as the wood truck. It's nice and high, gets through the snow. 4x4 works really well. It's a pretty nice little system.